Ahoy there, me hearties! This be Captain Silverhook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
I just want to go ahead and tell you that this is one of the most awesome Eric's True Stories that you'll ever hear. I had a friend named Eric also, and we were pretty good buds there for about 3 or 4 years until he moved away from Rockport. But this is an honest to God story about my dad and how much I'm not like him because I could never pull this off, and how much of a bullshit artist he was. We had a window unit at our house over at the Mexican Park. And if anybody knows anything about Texas summers, it gets hot and it gets humid. Without air conditioning, it sucks. And one day, that big old window unit went out, and we'd had it for years. I mean, there was algae and algae on the outside of the greenish algae growing from the water and stuff. So my mom's all, what are we going to do? My dad's all, well, Mom, take it to Walmart. We didn't have the money to buy a new air conditioning unit. We didn't have the money. It was called Mexican Park, and most people that lived there were on a fixed income, if not welfare. My dad at that point was almost 70, and an old 70 at that, due to his World War II wounds and arthritis in his hips and knees and back and neck. But he was a good bullshit artist, awesome bullshit artist. So he tells me, call a friend. We need to take this out of the window. We need to put it in the back of the car and take it up to Walmart. So what are we going to take it to Walmart for? Because I'm going to return it. You're going to return our old air conditioning unit? Yeah. Just shut up, boy. Just call somebody. So I called Eric. Eric, my dad wants us to move the air conditioning unit. It's not working. Yes, right now. Just come over. So Eric comes running over from the apartments, and we take it out of the window. It's heavy. There's water dripping all out of the back and rust and stuff, and it's old. We put it in the trunk of the car, get it closed. So I'm thinking I'm going to go inside. My dad's all, get in the frickin' car. Of course, when I use the word frickin', it's not frickin' that he used. My dad grew up in South Boston, so every other word was the F word. Eric starts walking away to go back home, and my dad's all, where the hell do you think you're going? Get your ass in the car, too. Eric can't carry it by himself. He just looks at me like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, I don't know, it's my dad. Are you going to listen to him? So we're driving to Walmart, all three of us. I'm nervous as hell because I've seen my dad do this numerous times and always get away with things like this. The more believable the lie and you push it, the more innocent people will believe it. I learned that from my dad. We get there, we get a cart, we get the air conditioning out of the trunk, we put it up on top of the cart so we could push it because it's heavy. Water still draining out of it. He's all, get the cord up off the ground. So we're pushing in. A couple of people are like looking at us. My dad like gives them looks like, what are you looking at stuff? When we get close to the entrance, this older man is coming out. He's got to be in his 80s. He's just like shuffling, this little bitty old man. Sorry about that. And he just stands there and he like looks at us. My dad's all, what are you doing? We caught the old man off guard. The old man's all, excuse me, what? And he's all like, are you going to help us? The old man's all, what? He's all, are you, and my dad's all, are you deaf? Are you going to help us? And he's all, no. He's all, then what the hell are you looking at us for? Move on. I'm just like, I'm so bright red. I was so shy. And you can tell the old man was like shocked, like, why did you talk to me like that? I was like, yeah, why? He's all like, well, if he's not going to help us, what the hell is he looking at us for? Push it all the way in, go up to the front counter. And Eric's, he's not even in the family, and he's nervous. I'm nervous. Don't know what my dad's going to pull. Goes up to the lady at the front desk, and he's all, yeah, I bought this air conditioning unit like a week or two ago, and it just shut off at the house. So I'm going to need to trade it in. The lady's looking at it. She can tell it's old. I mean, it's old, all right? She knows what's going on, that my dad's trying to pull a fast one. So she's all, sir, do you have your receipt? And he's all, I don't keep up with that stuff. Oh. Well, sir, do you have the owner's manual? Well, that's at the house. Why would I bring it here? It's not working. I mean, you're going to go and turn it on for me here? I mean, very, very sarcastic. Well, sir, I don't even know if we carry this brand. Well, you did 2 weeks ago when I bought it. Well, sir, and she just keeps going. He's all, look, you're wasting my time. Go have one of these little guys that wears the blue vest. Go get me a new one, and we'll be good. Well, sir, if you don't have any proof that you bought it from this Walmart. He's all, I just told you I did. Well, sir, and she keeps going like that. So he finally just turns and looks at her dead in the face and says, ma'am, do you know who owns Walmart? And she's all, well, that'd be Sam Walton. He's all, right. I served in World War II with Sam Walton. We served in the South Pacific. We fought the Japanese so that you could have the right to deny me, a disabled American veteran, the right to return a malfunctioning air conditioning unit and make me have to sweat in the hot summer sun, a veteran. Now, Sam would not like to hear about that. I can go home and call him on the phone, and he looked at her name tag, and it was like Jennifer or Elizabeth or something. He said her name. He's all, I want to make sure I get your name right and that you're working here today. And he looked at his watch and got the time, because I want to make sure you're the person that I have to tell Sam did this to me. And I don't think he's going to be happy. I don't think he's going to be happy one bit. But I appreciate you for your time. And I thank you very much. And before he could say very much, she's all, sir, hold on a second. She got on the thing. She called a kid over. She's all, what is the BTU on this? And my dad didn't know. I think it was like 10,000 or something like that. He's like, I don't know. The guy looked at him and said, oh, it's a 10,000 BTU. He's all, go get the man a 15,000. And he's all, but that's more. She's all, go get the man a 15,000 BTU. I don't care what model it is, but make it good. My dad just looked at me and was all, I felt so bad. We were going to get a brand new air conditioning because my dad told the lady that basically he could get her fired, which he couldn't. So the guy comes back about 5 minutes later with this big, beautiful box, and there's this awesome air conditioning on it. And Eric, Eric's still red in the face, I'm still red in the face. And my dad's all, can I get this guy to bring it out? Because my son and his friend, they're tired from having to lug it around and stuff. And so he got them to bring it out, put it in our trunk, and then we drove home. As we're driving home, I looked at my dad and I said, Dad, how could you do that? And he's all, it's easy. I bullshit her. I said, but how could you lie to her? He's all, I didn't lie. You know Sam Walton? You know a billionaire? Never said that. I said I served with him. We all served together. And that was my dad. He didn't lie to her. He said, I served with Sam Walton in the South Pacific. Sam Walton served in the South Pacific. My dad served in the South Pacific. They both fought the Japanese. So when he said, I can go home and call him, he could call whatever Walmart number he could have. He's never going to talk to Sam Walton. She didn't know that. So by saying I could call and talk to Sam, chances are no, you're never going to talk to Sam Walton. He's a billionaire. He was one of the wealthiest men in the world at the time. But she didn't know that. And that evening, our house was tremendously cold with that brand new air conditioning unit that we put in, 15,000 BTUs. And my mom was happy, and my dad was grinning from ear to ear because he had pulled another fast one and got what he wanted, because innocent people will believe anything if you push it hard enough. I'm not like my father. I do not bullshit people like that. I so wish I was like my father. I'm way too honest. I'm more like my mom on that. But I did learn some things from him. And it's a great memory. Embarrassed? Hell yes, I was embarrassed. But that air conditioner lasted us until we sold that house, and it was awesome. And it's just a true story about growing up with a dad that was just, he could do it. He could charm anybody. He could bullshit anybody. And it was an amazing day, now that I look back. And I'm proud that I'm his son. I hope everybody enjoyed that story.